Konnichiwa, everybody. Welcome to episode 40 of the Tiny Disc Podcast, a show about just Terrace House. That's right. Today we're only going to be talking about Terrace House, opening new doors. I'm Robert Scarpanito, and I'm joined here by Jack Cepeda.
When all this seems like it's okay, and every day we feel like we're on replay. Hello, everybody.
And Colin Sparling.
Konbanwa, Robert. It's nighttime. It wouldn't be Konnichiwa.
Hey, you don't know if it's nighttime when they're listening to this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of the internet.
What?
But, you know, now we have it covered, though. If someone's listening in the morning, listen to me. And if you're listening in the afternoon or evening, Colin's got you.
And if no one gives a shit, just fast forward 30 seconds.
Wait a minute. Wait. If you're listening in the morning, it'd be Ohio. Well,
you know, whatever. Fucking whatever. Welcome to our Terrace House opening new door spoiler cast, where we're going to talking about all 8 episodes of the first part of the new Terrace House season on Netflix. So if you haven't watched it yet, probably don't listen anymore unless you just want a spoiler. If you have never seen Terrace House before, go watch all of it. Come back when you've watched everything.
No. Like, listen, you're gonna watch one episode and then you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I just spent the last 6 hours watching Terrace House."
Yeah, because
it goes so fast.
Yeah. So, only proceed if you do not mind being spoiled on season 4, I guess, opening new doors of the newest Terrace House. So, without further ado, I think maybe we should start by kind of just going through the characters, you know, giving our first initial impressions of them. Favorites, no favorites.
Well, before we do that, what's your guys' general impression of the season so far? Like, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middle?
Thumbs up for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is highly, highly entertaining so far.
Yeah, my favorite thing about the season so far is just that it feels very wholesome. It actually feels like they're a family. Like there's the big brother role, there's the, you know, like fatherly kind of people and like the kids.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels more like a family than any other season I've seen.
Yeah, nothing feels forced or anything like that, you know.
Agreed.
They got some crazy characters this season.
Yeah,
but it's just such a diverse cadre of personalities in there.
Yeah, and I mean it's shaping up to be personally my favorite season so far.
Same here. I'm liking it a lot. It's definitely a strong opening compared to like Aloha State. I think the first 8 episodes of that were pretty weak. But here, like it's great, and it's just nice to see the commentators again after it's been like a year. You know, it's like seeing old friends or something.
Yeah, I feel like just to kind of debrief on Aloha State, I feel like Lauren Tsai was such a disappointment. She could have been so awesome a character or a person to watch on the show, but
the like 19-year-old illustrator girl who like
but she ended up being super boring to me. I don't know. Yeah,
I can agree with that.
I mean, there was just, I mean, you weren't really watching for any reason by the end of Aloha State, aside from the Guilty Samurai.
Guilty Samurai.
You're just like, you just want him to succeed. I mean, they were the last people in the damn house.
Wait,
what was the only reason you were watching anymore?
Crap, what was his name again? His actual for real name?
Taichi?
Taichi.
That's
it. Was it? Yeah.
He is still, to date, one of my favorite characters ever to be on a Terrace House. Guilty. But let's talk
on to the characters.
Yeah, let's talk about the characters in opening new doors. So the first one to enter the house was Ami Komuro, 20 years old. That girl who's studying in university. She's like in her 3rd or 4th year studying economics, but she also really wants to be a model. And then after her, you have Yudai Adai, a 19-year-old kid who quit cooking school so he could learn how to cook via hands-on experience.
Because he was like going to school and then had like 3 jobs or 4 jobs, he said, and he couldn't like stay up in class, so he's like, well, I'll just learn on the job and work my restaurant jobs.
Yeah, because he
had to. He was probably exaggerating, but we'll get to that.
Man, he's a special guy. The third person to enter the house was Mizuki Hiruta, 26 years old. She's a freelance writer and also an interpreter. She knows both Japanese and Korean, and she writes a lot of articles that I assume in both languages.
Yeah, it's like she's like kind of like a fashion and cultural editor for a magazine, and she's also, I think, like a part-time model, something like that. There's always the prerequisite model, right?
Yes.
In Terrace House, they always have to have male and female models everywhere. I don't know what that deal is.
And she's also working on her own lingerie like collection or something like that. So that might be where the modeling comes in. And then you have Takayuki Nakamura, 31 years old.
Takoyaki.
The oldest of this group. He is
The elder.
For half of the year he works at what kind of restaurant was it? Does he work in an izakaya? Colin, do you remember?
They showed it briefly in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you call it.
Or yakitori maybe.
Barbecue?
Yeah,
It wasn't
he
barbecue,
works at some barbecue restaurant, but then at the other half of the year, he's a pro snowboarder, snowboards full time, has his own he's sponsored by a bunch of snowboarding gear, and he has his own snowboarding line. So
and he's fucking good too. Watching the videos, I'm like, it's impressive.
He was crazy. He was like on the he is as good at snowboarding as what's his face from Aloha State. Was it surfing? I forget his name now. Yeah.
That what's his face.
Well, there's a lot of characters, and we should maybe give a little bit of background as well too. I think all three of us have seen at least 3 or so episodes or seasons of this series, so we're kind of like pretty hardcore fans. I haven't seen the ones that aren't translated in English, but anything on Netflix I've seen, which I think is 3 seasons, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I think all 3 of us have seen every episode.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of characters to remember. I get them mixed up constantly.
Yeah, it is because the show is unconventional in a way where it's not just like this is your standard cast. Like, spoiler alert, right? Like, people are going to come and leave over the course of the season. So
it got ridiculous by the end of Aloha State.
Yeah, like it was like every weekend there was like new people. There was like a hostel, not so much a house.
Yeah, no shit.
And that surfer's name was Guy Sato. You dummy.
That's what it was.
Dumb
Guy.
Yeah, literally Winnie the Pooh, one of the best characters.
Pooh Bear,
yeah, Pooh Bear. And then the 5th person to enter the house was Tsubasa Sato, 24 years old, and she is an ice hockey player trying to make it to the pros.
I love their commentary when she came into the house, and I can't remember the commentators' names as well, but that is like half of the fun for me, is hearing what they have to say about the events ongoing in the house. But they were like, she's like the most natural girl, quotation marks, right? Like, she's so natural a girl that's ever been on this show. And it's just like they're saying, she looks like a normal human being, basically.
Right. Not like a model.
Exactly, because they always have models up in this bitch. But she's a hockey player. She's strong. She's competitive. She knows how to throw a motherfucking baseball too. We'll get into that.
Yeah. And then the last one to enter the house is like that 6 foot tall motherfucker, Shion Okamoto, 22
half
years
English,
old. He's a half American, half Japanese boy, which explains the height. And he is already like an accomplished model, and he wants to like walk the runways of Paris at some point.
So I don't have a lot of bad things to say about the guy. He's a pretty straight up dude. He's honest. He's like, what you see is what you get. But he's a model, right? And to me, he looks just straight derpy. He does not look like a model to me. He's got one of those like weak sunken in chins. I don't know. He just looks nerdy.
He's got a major Adam's apple going on.
Yeah, like he kind of looks androgynous in a lot of ways. So I guess maybe that's what's in for fashion.
He looks like who was the other half American dude from Boys and Girls? The dancer. He was a dancer.
Oh, Burns.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of looks like him.
A little bit.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of get where you're coming from, but that one shot of him in like the opening where he has like his shirt, like the shirt buttoned open.
Oh my god!
Like the wind was blowing. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
You can basically see his pubis in that shot.
Yeah.
You could tell though they were like it was a drawn on 6-pack for sure. Like you could tell.
It's pretty great. So I think what I want to do before we dive into like the happenings, the timeline, just a quick round the table, your favorite character and your least favorite character by the end of episode 8. Jack.
Oh, okay. Me first? Okay.
Sure.
I'll say like the person I'd want to most hang out with and go get beers with would definitely be Taka, the snowboarder. I would definitely hang with him. I think we'd have some good times. The person that I would hate to be in an elevator with, period, is definitely Yudai, and we'll get into that. But he's like one of the craziest villains in the show's history, I think, and he's like an unintentional villain. But he's walking that path for me, so those are my votes.
Colin, what about you?
So Taka for sure is the guy I want to hang out with the most. He's the most laid back. He's definitely like he's very driven. He's like the most like me, the most relatable character in my opinion. And the least likable character for me is definitely Yudai, for sure. He's got and I'm trying to look it up here. That's why I was half paying attention, because there's actually a word in German for someone that has a really punchable face.
Of course, the Germans would have something.
Yeah. I would keep talking. I'm gonna find it though. I'll let you guys know when I find it.
I'll drink to that.
Good. Get us all that information stat. For me, I really like the guys, but both Taka and Shion. I kind of really like them. Except Yudai. Yudai is just not. I'm sensing a recurring theme here between the three of us, but I don't like him.
He's an outlier, yeah. He's an outlier.
Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of where I stand here. Colin,
and I will say that Tsubasa is the coolest of the girls. Easily, I would totally go hang out with her.
Oh, definitely.
The hockey player. Yeah, the
Back
hockey player.
Pfeifen stitched. Back Pfeifen stitched.
Gesundheit.
Wow, we have the title of our episode. So
yeah, it's an Animals as Leaders song. That's why I know that. But
it literally translates to punchable face.
Yeah, it that's like the short version of it. But yeah, that's essentially what it means.
Very nice.
It's good. I like it.
All right, so let's go through the timeline of events and happenings here. So I have to say, when I first popped in episode 1, it felt so nostalgic. Which, I mean, I've only known about this series for like a year, but like, dude, it had
I've
this
been looking
power.
forward. Yes, I've been looking forward to this new season for months. Like I finished the last Terrace House season in December, which I think is some months after it aired or whatever. But I was so hyped for the new one, and when I heard they were going to do a new one, I was so excited. And I was like, man, I actually love this theme song. I am in love with this theme song. I like singing it. I can't wait. Let's go. Those are the words I was quoting in the beginning, in the intro there, and I'm just like, let's do it. All right, here it comes, the new season, and click, and what happens?
They change it.
And I'm like, I was cussing, I was shaking, I was red, I was trembling. I was like, what is this fucking horse shit? I hate that song. And I'm pretty sure it's the same band.
I don't know.
Is it?
I haven't even looked it up.
I think it is the same band, but it fucking sucks, and I am pissed about. I'm triggered, dude.
Like
I'm not cool with this song.
I don't even remember it. If I'm gonna be like, I can tell you right now. Like,
I skip it. I listened to it once, and then I skipped it every time.
Like, I love
it's garbage.
But this new one,
I think the Terrace House intros are really good, and I love when they bring a new character in and they have their own little mini montage. And I look forward to it, man. And ever since they changed the song, I'm like, this intro is dead to me now. I just want to skip it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, one friend of mine told me this, and I can never not think of it anytime I hear a song in Terrace House now. But they have this knack for playing music that sounds almost like a very popular pop song that you know, but isn't quite that song.
Exactly. It's just off color. Yeah.
Yeah. And and also something I've read too, apparently for this season, like when it airs in Japan, the intro song isn't whatever it is that we're seeing on Netflix. It's actually Ready for It by Taylor Swift.
Right, and I saw that too, and that was a little weird. And they also did New Romantics as well by Taylor Swift, which is maybe a better intro song.
Maybe.
So yeah, Taylor Swift is played in the Japanese version. Really weird.
Yeah, I find that kind of odd, but what can you do?
So to me, I'm saying, guys, that was a big deal to me. I'm sensing you guys didn't care so much, but I was ready for that song. Bring me back to the feels place.
You were ready for it.
Yes. and I just I was so disappointed. I'm dead serious. I was really disappointed, but it was kind of somewhat mitigated when I found out that the ending song was actually quite awesome. And so I went online and I tracked it down, and the name of it's Frozen. And I don't know if there's an artist attributed to this or not, but it's in like the 5 Alarm and Mad Gem production music, some weird, like, I don't know, royalty based, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's where like budget shows go to get music, right?
Yeah, I think
what it is.
Yeah, Terrace has probably pulled a few tracks from. I know the opening theme from like the past 2 seasons is on there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled more songs.
It's a good song though. It's catchy, and so I'm actually scrambling when the episodes are over and they're playing the ending song. I'm scrambling for the button to like, no, keep watching the credits. I want to hear the song.
Please keep going. Okay,
so can we? I was gonna say, can we talk about like where the setting is for this particular season?
Yeah. That's where I was gonna bring it to.
Okay,
so,
perfect.
It's set in Karuizawa, which is roughly an hour away from Tokyo proper. So it's kind of, I guess, more suburby, but that's really like suburb doesn't really exist in Japan.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely like a slower pace of life than boys and girls in the city, at least.
It's like a sleepy mountain town, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. There's like mountains really close, so that like hence snowboarding, ice hockey, right?
Right. It's very rural, and the cool thing that I like about that is it seems like it's creating this dynamic where the cast is spending a lot more time at the house, so you see a lot more interaction.
Yeah, there's actually
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they have to like dress warm for the weather. Yeah,
maybe a little bit of cabin fever, but I definitely like the change of pace in the setting for sure. It changes the dynamic a lot in a good way.
Can we talk about how, like, look, every house I've seen in Terrace House, I'm like, I want to live there. But this house is like super, super nice. I think it's like the best house.
It's the biggest one in the show's history for sure, and I really love their couch. I see their furniture. I'm like, shit, I want to sit on that.
Yeah,
their bedrooms are so cozy. It's like very log cabiny.
Yeah, and that sofa they have in like their playroom. That's like just a super. It's kind of like a mix between a sofa and a futon. You know what I'm talking about? Like that. Just
and
looks
it's
so
massive.
Comfy. Yeah, that looks so nice.
Yep, and they had the kind of prerequisite 6-seat table, right? Which I think is very similar. If it's not the same table, it's very similar in every season.
And they even have a nice hot tub with a giant window. Like nothing is covered. Like
and it simulates like a hot spring in a way, and you definitely see some man butt in the show too. So horny.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, holy shit, they're naked.
I was not expecting that. That was new for me.
Yeah, I saw some Taka ass there for a second.
Yeah, and you see quite a bit of Mons pubis from Udai. Like he's just cupping his balls. That's it.
Men's not hot. Men's not hot. All right, and no, it's just a gorgeous house, and like that's kind of like definitely a character in itself in the show is how they decorate it and the architecture and everything. So this house did not disappoint at all.
Yeah, and I remember early on the commentators were like, "It's refreshing to not see the ocean," and I was kind of like, "Yeah, it really is."
I see it. Yeah,
yeah, it's like a thought you never think. Like, how is the ocean never refreshing? But like just seeing it in that aspect, kind of like that is kind of nice. It's nice seeing like lots of trees and stuff.
Right, for sure.
Right. So the first episode, as per usual, everyone's introduced. Like they all walk in one at a time, and then they explore the house. Kind of classic Terrace House things. Things that stood out to me.
Oh, sugoi, sugoi, sugoi.
So like every time they say that.
Yeah. So in the first episode, they cut straight to the point of like, what kind of girl do you like? What kind of guy do you like? And fucking Udai, like, I'm going to say that name so many times in the next however long we're doing this. He's like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Good.
Okay, so he's like, people have called me a puppy. I want a girl that does everything for me.
I'm a puppy and I'm looking for my mother dog.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was basically Taka when I was watching that. Taka's sitting there like, what in the fuck?
How about top 10 things to not say in the first 5 minutes of meeting your new roommates?
Yeah, seriously. Like,
here's
the thing.
Shit.
I'm sure there is at least one woman out there who's like super turned on by a guy proclaiming, I want you to take care of I want you to change my underwear for me.
Dude, wow.
Dude, that's that.
Yeah, I want you to put my socks on for me.
Yeah.
I never did that for you. I never did that for you.
Will you?
But I
we'll
want
get
you
to
to
that
put my
later,
socks
but
on.
He literally said that to a woman, like straight face. He wasn't joking.
Yeah.
Like he wanted that. And,
he's like, it was painful for me to put my socks on all this time.
We come to learn that he didn't even fucking apply for the show. His gram applied for him, right? His grandma.
And I remember
got him in the show because she watches the show. She's a fan of the show.
Yeah, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. Like, he's in a place where he didn't expect to be. And now by the end of the show, or at the end of this part of the season, I'm like, fucking A, because he wouldn't apply for anything himself.
Man, his upbringing really fucked him up, dude, because I don't think his parents put their foot down appropriately, and I think his grandma spoiled the living crap out of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So dude, and she'll do like everything for him. Like, he just hides behind her skirt. But let me ask you, this is something I want to bring up at the beginning. Did any of you guys think it was odd that when they walked in, they all sat, like the first thing they did was put their bags in, take their shoes off, put some slippers on, and sit at the table and wait for everyone else to show up? Wouldn't you, if you were like one of the first like 2 or 3, like want to tour the house?
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that might have
yeah.
been like producers saying like, no, you have to wait here.
Either that or it's a cultural thing too.
I was gonna say, you don't think it's a Japanese culture thing? Like that to me is
either or.
The first thing I would do is run around and look at everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, yeah.
Same.
But
yeah.
And let's
So I
see.
thought it was weird.
Oh, also you get to see fucking the two pandas. The Yudai's two
we're
pandas.
cutting right to the panda incident. I want my mother dog.
I can't sleep without Masa-chan and Yu-chan.
Yeah, so he has two pandas, stuffed animals, and he sleeps with them kind of like bodyguards on each side of his pillow staring at him.
So
and he
no
said it's
matter-
because when he wakes up, he wants to be surrounded by cuteness. And I'm like, this motherfucker's 19 years old.
He got them from IKEA.
Holy shit, he got them from IKEA. And what the creepy part they were talking about, the commentators, was that he only named one of them.
Yeah.
He didn't have a second name for one. Then he was just like pulled one out of his ass when asked about it. It's like, why'd you only name one? That's so weird.
I mean, I had my blanket, my Winnie the Pooh blanket until I was like 10.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's so odd to me.
It is.
And then it kind of led to like I think it was the next episode where the guys reveal, like, everyone's at the table, like all the guys and girls, and the other two guys reveal like, oh hey, did you know this motherfucker still sleeps with pandas?
I mean, dude, he's a grown-ass man living on his own. He brings his stuffed animals. He takes up precious luggage space for these stuffed animals.
Yeah. And
and then Taka's like, hey Ami, isn't that creepy?
Yeah. She's like,
and she's like, of
the
course.
girl
I was like, that's creepy as shit, dude.
likes or thinks is cute is, he's like, hey, check out this weirdo, and she's like, yeah, that's weird.
I remember Shion kind of being like, I mean, it's not that weird. Like he was trying to help Yudai, which to me was like, that got me some brownie points for him, because at least he seems like he's trying to be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
I give you that.
another thing I remember early on is like Shion reveals that he likes the kind of girl who is willing to try anything new, doesn't really say like, no to like something, that's like, oh, I don't want to try
adventurous,
Yeah,
or spontaneous. Yeah.
And then Ami was immediately like, that's not me. It's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not that
She
kind
shut
of girl.
it down.
Yeah.
She threw the X up.
Yeah, and I remember Yama was like, isn't that the girl just saying like being confrontational, like that's a no? And the other commentator was like, no, the girls just say that.
That's weird. Girls say weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. It's a whole other subject.
Yeah.
Girls say things, and it doesn't translate well to the male brain sometimes. Oftentimes, I should say.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. She's like, what else did she say in that conference? She said, yeah, I don't really like when a guy shows any signs of liking me. I want to chase after them.
Oh, that is an incredibly, dude. I don't know if you guys know this. That's just an incredibly common thing. That's not a Japanese thing or anything.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
Girls hate when guys like them because they have low. I don't know why. I don't even want to attempt to dissect it, but it's just like, wait, you like me? Oh, you must be a loser then. Like, it's just so weird.
Yeah,
so
that was
weird.
really weird. She's like, yeah, I want a guy to like, not act like he likes me, and that because that just like makes me like him more. And everyone's like, what the fuck kind of backwards ass logic is that?
Yeah. To be fair, the model said that, right? So maybe she just is sick of, any old dude hitting on her and asking for a number, maybe.
Like Yudai.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what's
Any old dude.
Like what I find so funny is like after she said like, yeah, I hate it when guys pursue me. Like you see Yudai immediately make this 180 where he's kind of like cold to her. You remember that?
Yeah, he's trying to tease her.
Yeah, he was being
totally like
just a dick.
Yeah.
it's totally like middle school love, like like the guy throwing dirt at the girl he likes and stuff.
Yeah, to me that was him probably thinking, well, like if she doesn't want me to pursue her, then I'll do the opposite of pursue her.
Yeah,
that'll
I'll just
turn
be a
her
dick.
on, right?
I'll just be a dick. I mean, she did go on that date with him.
Yeah, and that went
she
so
basically
well.
gave him a shot. Yeah, she basically gave him a shot though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me think. Oh, fucking that soup. You remember that soup early on?
This man claims to be like so he quit culinary school to learn on-the-job training to be a cook. And then he's like, I'm going to cook for everybody. Bro, by the way, he's 19. So, everyone else is already like pretty well versed in how to cook and they have their own recipes and stuff tastes great. So the chef in training starts to cook soup for everybody. And what happens?
It's not good. I mean,
It's a
everyone's
light ass soup.
Yeah, everyone's nice about it. They're just like, oh, it's a little light on flavor.
It's very light. Yeah. There's not a lot here. Tastes like celery.
And then Tokui's like, it's like, oh my god, he made it some for an entire football team.
Yeah, and here's like, look, I'm not an aspiring chef. I do like cooking. It's one of my hobbies, but it's like kind of basic cooking 101 that like soup isn't mostly water.
Yeah, it's seasoning.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you cook it down, but that just looked like it wasn't even boiling in the shot. And I'm just like, dude, do you know how to cook? Did you learn like anything?
You got to go for that umami, right?
Yeah, that sweet, savory flavor. And I don't know. I just want to tear this guy fucking you one for just.
He sucks, dude.
He really does. Like, how do you go from I really want to be a chef? I'm an aspiring chef. Like, I was too good for school, so I wanted to do on the job training, and you like don't know how to cook. And you know, like it goes to the point. Like, I mean, I'm skipping ahead a bit, but I just want to focus on this asshat's cooking. So, like, you remember the scene where Ami asks him, like, "Do you really want to be a cook?" And like, why don't you cook more around the house? Why don't you cook with us more? He's like, there's more to cooking than cooking. You have to. There's a lot of studying recipes.
I have to study, yeah. And then he also went in the kitchen. He's like, I don't like cooking with people that don't study.
Yeah, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
I don't like people that cook with me that are inferior to me.
Yeah, that's the ironic part is they're actually better than him at cooking. I get that sense that everyone is better than him, pretty much.
Wait, yeah, and even like, okay, so there even the part where like at the very beginning where they made the Mitsutaka or whatever.
Oh, the Mitsutaki.
And
I think.
Mitsutaki, and it wasn't. Did you take charge of that? I don't remember, like cooking wise.
No, for the hot pot, Taka, yeah, he took charge of it. He was like, why don't we do Mizutaki and do like,
and you guys smelling the onions.
Yeah, he smelled the
fucking onions. That's what it was. That's what I was thinking of. Yes.
So here's the thing.
Smelling the onions.
I'm not a professional.
Have you ever smelled an onion?
Like, I'm not a professional cook, and I'm sure someone like Gordon Ramsay or some shit could feel up an onion and smell it and figure maybe something out. But dude, like, it's not a thing. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, he's like, I saw a guy on TV smelling this some sort of fruit or vegetable, so I'm gonna do it too to look official.
I don't know that much about onions and culinary, cuisine and exquisite ingredient selection, but I know when I go to the grocery store, I don't smell an onion to determine its quality.
Right, and
the outside of an onion does a pretty good job at sealing away the flavor.
And I feel like scent. For him, he was doing that so that way they could get the shot of him doing that and then make people at home think, wow, he's so good at cooking. He can like identify an ingredient's quality based on sight, smell, and touch.
Yeah, and then Tokui's like, wait, I'm pretty sure there's not really any point to that.
Yeah.
I saw this on Iron Chef once.
and then Ami proceeds to rip the Mitsutaki apart to her friends later.
Yeah, dude.
Let's talk about her friends real quick. They're creepy, and the one had the eye patch on, and
they never acknowledged that she had an eye patch on either.
You know what? I've seen a lot of anime. For me, that's like, that whatever.
Oh, clearly she just has a massive eye injury. That's fine.
Yeah, that's whatever. Okay, but also I didn't really have a good opinion at first of Ami. I just thought, okay, she's she's the hot one. All right, whatever. And then when I saw her with her friends, and she was just so candidly like, yeah, this old asshat was like trying to cook a hot pie, and he just like took charge, and like he just didn't let anyone have a say. I'm like, you clearly do not understand the situation. Like, you just didn't pay attention to that social interaction, really.
Yeah, anyone that would like just like eat the food and not say anything and just go like totally badmouth it on camera, it's just like, man, what a piece of shit move.
Yeah. And Taka when they were at the store was like, I know I just kind of took charge, but is everyone okay with this Mitsutaki? And like,
Exactly. And I remember like later too, when I don't remember how it came up again, but when someone, I think it was Ami, was talking to him about that hot pot thing, and he was like, I mean, I just took charge because I knew no one else would, but I didn't want to like force everyone. And like, they came to an understanding about it, which I thought was nice.
Right. At least that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the next time Ami met with her friends, it wasn't nearly as volatile, but her friends were a little bit more on it. And then the one friend's like, oh, yeah, this ice cream tastes really great.
Yeah. The most colorful commentary.
Yeah.
The most tasteful.
Yes.
So let's see here.
Episode 2?
Yeah. Oh, Shion and Tsubasa. So great. They're so perfect.
The refreshing couple, is that what they're called now?
Yeah, the refreshing couple.
Yeah. Because it's just like a rom-com every time they're together.
Yeah,
because dude, fucking Shion's got some moves.
Dude,
he's a smooth dude.
Smooth as hell.
He is smooth, and it's just the most. To me, it was like the most unlikely couple.
Yeah.
I did not see
for
this
sure.
at
I was
all.
not expecting that. Yeah.
And Shion even like said outright, he like admitted that he only joined the show because he's seen other male models on there and girls are swooning on him, so he's there to be swooned upon.
Right, and I'll be honest, everything he's done so far, I'm like, yeah, good, yeah, it's working, good job.
Yeah,
I mean, he's killing it. We'll see if how he comes across as genuine though.
Yeah, his stock is like super up for me because he doesn't seem like a two-facing asshat.
Time will tell, but like I said, they're the refreshing couple now. As long as he doesn't break her heart. If he breaks her heart and plays her, then
he's dead.
Oh yeah,
forget about it.
He's a dead man.
Oh yeah, his ratings are going way down. Also, I want to keep a counter of how many times Robert can call someone an asshat during this episode.
Don't be an asshat, Colin.
Oh man.
I mean, I'll just say if he breaks her heart, she better use his testicles as like a hockey puck.
It's a hockey puck.
Dude, Tsubasa is the pure one.
Yeah, seriously.
Definitely.
Dude,
like,
I feel like she could like judo throw and like snap his spine.
Oh yeah, she could break him in fucking half.
She would beat his ass. She's stronger than him. I guarantee it.
I mean, he looks super frail. Like I don't think you even need to be like a pro hockey player to beat someone like him up.
Yeah, I'm almost positive she would win in a fight. Seriously,
100%. But I do enjoy their every one of their interactions. I think was great because I remember it started off as like kind of, oh, is he just trying to be friendly, and then it kind of slowly develops into like, oh, he's actually into her, and they joke about like kissing and stuff. It was kind of like really adorable to watch it grow, and it felt very organic. And
good.
Yeah, it was really nice to have that when the whole disastrous thing between Yudai and Ami was happening.
Yeah, and like
on the other side,
one of my favorite moments is when it's just Shion and Tsubasa at the table, and then Yudai is there, and they're talking about how they're about to go on their first date to like this like co-ed, but only for foot bath things. And Yudai's like, oh, why don't you just go to a co-ed hot spring?
Yeah.
It's like, that's not how this works.
And then, but I love the look Shion gives Tsubasa, kind of like that side, like, huh?
Totally like, oh, we're gonna get naked? Yeah. And dude, I'll admit it, I rewound it and I freeze framed it and I considered making it my wallpaper. Seriously, it was
so
that
good.
kind of look.
It was a great face.
I considered it being my wallpaper on my computer.
Like, I get why he's a model, because that face was fucking perfect for that moment.
It was clutch. I laughed my ass off at that look.
but he also turned it into a smooth move of being like, I'm just kidding. I mean, come on, I'm not that guy. He's super great.
But Yudai was like saying it unironically though.
Yeah, he was like, seriously, why don't you just get naked, right?
Yeah.
Like, damn. Okay, so episode 3.
Okay, so the thing that stands out the most to me about that episode was the straight up dude ass at the end. Like near the end.
Right, that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah. And the thing
is, 2
is,
dudes naked in a hot spring simulated bathtub.
Yeah, and it was a wholesome moment. It was a very like fatherly son kind of moment.
Or like Big Brother more like.
Yeah,
right.
But dude ass. Just some straight up man ass.
You know what we're forgetting about? That moment that Taka and Yudai had on the couch where they were talking about like reaching their goals and aspirations.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they both started crying. And like Taka and Yudai, they're like, yeah, we're gonna work hard and bust our asses, and then Yudai decides to fuck off instead.
Yudai said that thing where he's like, I'm gonna hole up in the kitchen. Why did he announce that to the whole like house? He's like, I'm gonna hole up in the kitchen and then sleeps in all day.
He didn't even follow up, and like the morning after, it was like Taka and Ami working on like packaging up that merchandise for Taka's line, and they're both joking like, did he come down to the kitchen? The kitchen was clean when I came downstairs. What a dummy.
Yeah, that's verbatim what they said. Yeah.
Like, I love how it's just such a roundabout way of saying he ain't down there.
And basically, they're kind of giving up on him in a way. Taka's not necessarily giving up on him, but
he's like,
they're kind of like
he had that last talk with him, but we'll get. I mean, that's in the later episode.
He has so much like mentoring and tutelage, and, like opportunity. Like, what a wasted opportunity this show has been for him so far.
Dude, you know how much? How much I'd pay to have someone like Taka be my mentor? He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's so great.
Oh yeah, for sure. Taka's like, well, like when they had that initial talk, I even got to the point where I was fucking tearing up. Like I was like shedding tears during that part because I was like, that's some shit that like touches me because I'm the type of person that I'm right there with Taka. I would want to bust my ass to get to where I want to be.
Wait, the part in the tub?
No, the part where they're on the couch. I think it's before,
okay.
right before
It's before
that.
the tub, yeah.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I don't know, like,
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's just I related to that so hard, and then just to see Yudai just even after getting several talkings to by Taka, just decides to fuck off anyway.
Yeah. Like for me, I think Taka, he's had some of my most favorite moments in the season. Like there's that moment where it was just him and Tsubasa playing catch outside, and we're just talking about, Tsubasa's future dreams. Like that was nice. There are lots of moments,
and then she was delivering like 90-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Yeah, and then there were moments he's had with Shion where they both kind of like being older brothers to Yudai, but they're like talking without him. I don't know. It's just like every time he talks, it's a very peaceful and kind of nice moment, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very measured. He's very, competent. He's just no bullshit, really. Just straight up dude.
He might be on almost on Honda-san's level for me right now.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
100%. I mean, he's like Han-san, but already accomplished. Because I mean, Han-san, he was in the process
getting out of school,
yeah, and he was like trying to win the architecture competition or whatever. But Taka's like he's made it, and now he's just coasting.
And how many pro snowboarders are there in the world that are in their 30s too? So congrats on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Another thing that happened in episode 3 was going to Tsubasa's dad's soba restaurant.
It was fun, but it was sad too.
Yeah,
about her mom passing away and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess her mom passed away young. She didn't really know her too well, and the dad had 2 daughters. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
And he had to put them through school and support them, but then also run his soba restaurant. And then he ended up naming the restaurant after his 2 daughters too. And I was like, oh man, that's sweet.
Yeah.
And he seemed like a super nice guy.
I know. He was like joking and like just being really hilarious and polite. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, there are so many feels in this season. I can't take it.
He was,
I
such a
I think
dad.
I've cried twice. I've cried twice already in this damn show.
It was real.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that moment because especially it humanized Tsubasa in a way, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, sure, she's basically a reality TV show star now, but she's also got a human side. Like she has a story. She has a reason why she is where she is. And that episode even ends with Tsubasa, like a scene where Tsubasa's talking with her hockey coach. And it's like a very real moment where she's like, I want to win with this team.
Yeah, she's been with that team for how long? She was like
years.
10 years. I can't even remember.
Yeah,
a long time.
But then at the same time, like her desire to win is also having her like looking at joining other teams, and it's kind of like, dude, that's some shit. That's real.
I'm taking my talents to South
there
Beach.
isn't much of a presence in female hockey in Japan, and the only hope you really have is to be noticed, to be the best on your team, and then have a chance and a shot to get to the Japanese national team to play in Olympics.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the pinnacle of the sport there. So
I don't know. I mean that was to me like straight out of a sports movie. Field of Dreams or some shit.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
I love that moment. It was probably one of the more real the more pure natural moments of Terrace House from the most natural girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then in the next episode, Yudai was an ass as per usual, and he just approaches Ami and is like, "Hey, so do you really even want to be a model, or are you just playing around?" Which coming from him,
challenging. Yeah, come on,
him.
dude.
I don't know that.
And again, I think this is like he thinks he's flirting, maybe.
Yeah, but
he thinks he's playing hard to get or whatever. I don't know.
I don't need you.
Yeah,
I don't need you.
Ami just starts crying, and he kind of like doesn't know what he's like panic, like he's trying. He just kind of sits there and like pretends.
He's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
What a
he's
doofus,
like, "Why
dude.
are you crying? What, guys? Why is she crying?" And he just doesn't get it.
What a fucking asshat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, is this the same episode where they go shopping at the outlet mall?
I think it happens either toward the end of this or like in the next one, but either way, like that happens pretty soon after, where it's
I think it is like this episode.
Yeah, it's Yudai, Ami, Mizuki, and Shion, right? Or was it Taka?
Yeah,
because
no, because Taka,
Shion.
Taka and Tsubasa work. So yeah,
right.
It was the 4 people who aren't as employed. And they go to the mall, and like on the way there, Yudai's fucking like, if I can't afford it, I'll just use my dad's credit card.
He's like, what? I got like what he said. He's got.
I had like 2,000 yen.
Yeah, 200.
That's like $20.
200 yen. Yeah, 200 yen. Or no, yeah, you're right. 20,000 yen.
It's like $20. Like, bro, you're poor, and he just is like in the middle of trying to get a job at a restaurant.
Yeah, and
he's like, oh, I'll use my dad's credit card. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
and then he's talking about buying like high label items and shit.
Yeah, like Gucci
and
and he's like, dude,
sunglasses.
What are you
like
doing? Like, come on.
And then he asks Ami out on a fucking date.
Yeah, well, it's not that he asks her, but it's like he makes it more clear, right?
He's
like,
clarifies.
I want it to be a date.
Yeah. He's like, I think it wasn't clear before. I made sure we understand now.
Yeah. God, that was so. Oh, that was just uncomfortable to watch.
It's always awkward on the show, I think, when people ask other people out. I don't know why they haven't figured out a better way to do it. It's always just cringy.
I feel like this one was extra awkward.
It was.
Extra double plus awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That was just weird. And it all kind of culminated in like the next morning, or not morning, the evening when Mizuki fucking drinks a 6-pack plus 1 of beer. And then just like attacks Yudai, like, why aren't you trying to be independent? Why are you trying to put everything on your dad's credit card?
Well, wait, remember, because what was it? Wasn't she talking to Taka or something about it? And then Shion and Yudai overheard her,
and then walks in the room and confronts her.
And then they walked in, and they're like, "Yeah, we overheard what you said. You might as well just say it to his face."
And
now.
and she's drunk and shit, and it just gets. She starts escalating the situation and just like attacking his cooking and stuff, and just going off the tracks, and it just gets really bad. And then, but here's the thing, like Yudai, like you kind of sympathize with him, like, wow, that would suck to have someone say that shit to your face, but at the same time, he is the type of person that makes excuses. Like, he doesn't own up to his own mistakes. He doesn't like claim responsibility. He's always like, it's someone else's fault. There's always some weird explanation. There's always something else, and it's just a blatant lie. He'll just straight up lie to your face.
Right. And the part that made me realize that dude's just too far gone is the part where, like, just, and the initial part anyway, is when Mizuki's like giving him all this shit, and then he's like, well, we're just people with different values.
Bull fucking shit.
Like, what the fuck does that have to do with your dad's credit card?
Yeah, you value your independence and your career, and I value my dad's credit card.
I'm like, what the fuck does what?
And doesn't he also reveal like his relationship with his parents isn't that great? Like, they kicked him out of the house. Like, how does he still have access to daddy's credit card?
Seriously, dude.
And like, for me also, just on top of all that, like his excuse for using his dad's credit card is like, I'll pay it back eventually. And it's
like I have it planned out. I know when I'm gonna be able to have money and pay. I'm like, dude, that's what gets you in debt. That's what those people that are not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt say.
I don't know the laws in Japan, but like in America, when you're 18, you can get your own credit card. So I don't know what his deal is. Maybe he just has zero credit, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe he's not credit worthy.
I don't.
Right, and it's also worth remembering that he already said that he stole his dad's credit card and used it once.
Yep. So who knows if that's what he's doing on the show, right?
Oh yeah, for all we know, he stole that credit card. His dad just hasn't realized yet.
Yeah, he's committing a crime. He's confessing to a crime. I would not put that past him. He's such a dumb fuck. Asshat.
Yudai asshat arai. I don't know, man. He's not great. He's not a good guy. Part of me is like, I mean, he's still young, but also like, dude, come on, you gotta buck up at some point. I feel like 19, you're really pushing it.
It's like at this point in the show, we're halfway through the first 8 episodes, over halfway through, and it's like he has not done anything right that I can think of. He didn't cook right. He doesn't act right. He doesn't talk right to the girl he likes. I mean, like everything is not going his way.
He got a job. I guess that's one thing he did right.
He's literally washing dishes, and guess what else that drives me crazy about this is he got a job, and like the day before his first day at his new job, he doesn't even know the name of the fucking restaurant that he's washing dishes at. Like, right? Dude,
yeah, he's like, Shion's like, dame this, like, that's bad, isn't it? Like, you should probably know the name of the restaurant.
Yeah, how do you not know where you're working? Holy
exactly.
shit.
And even before that, he went job hunting wearing sunglasses and a hoodie
and like a hoodie
with no resume.
Dude. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, Japan really doesn't care anymore. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, I didn't know. I was like, wow, they really relaxed their standards.
No,
but no, that's not the case at all. He's just that stupid,
and then he showed up in the interview in the most casual of clothes and rode a bike there.
And I didn't know he rode a bike there. And he didn't have a resume or didn't have business cards or nothing like that. He had no follow-up process at all. And they're like, so what brings you to this restaurant? He goes, oh, it's nearby.
It's nearby. I like your menu.
And I came in and I saw you have a good menu and I make pasta. Basically.
Yeah. Also, well, like you mentioned that he rides a bike, and that just reminds me, like, he doesn't know how to drive. And
he doesn't have his license. He's 19, and he has to have girls driving around on dates.
He had Ami drive him on the date.
What
here's the thing.
Clusterfuck of a man.
Here's the thing. I didn't get my license till I was 21. So, like, I can relate to him on that, but I was never, like, begging, pleading, like, oh, you're the girl I'm interested in. Can you take care of everything for me and drive me everywhere, please?
Yeah, put my socks on, dress me.
Can you?
I need a new.
Can you drive me everywhere while putting my socks on? That'd make my day, please.
Yeah. He asked a girl on a date and then said that she needs to learn how to drive to drive them to the date.
Yeah, because she doesn't have to go out with Shion and learn how to drive.
He's like, you need to learn to drive, right? Because I'm not going to drive. What a fucking joke.
That is so dumb to me. Like, I would, like, if I were in his situation and I was interested in this girl and neither of us knew how to drive, my first instinct wouldn't be, you need to learn how to drive so we can go to our date. It'd be, let's go on a date somewhere we can both, like, walk to or something.
Is Uber not a thing there? Yeah, something. Like, wow.
Good Lord, man.
And then, I think we're skipping ahead a little bit, but then he makes her drive, like, a fucking hour away.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really know how to drive. She's just learning. She's not comfortable at night driving a Volkswagen Bug, which I can understand if you're not comfortable, if you're not too familiar with the roads and the car and everything. I totally get that. And he wants her to drive an hour away. And then also, she doesn't even know it's an hour away until they're about to leave because he doesn't tell her. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Because I remember, too, he was like, oh, it's nearby. Like, to me, driving nearby is, like, at most 30 minutes. And, like, that's still pushing it. That's, like, pushing it.
Yeah.
And he's like,
seriously.
Oh, it's actually, like, an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's a
and they
dummy.
get there and it's not even open.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah, it's not even a good date.
First, they make a pit stop at burger that burger place.
Bagel.
Burger bagel.
It's a burger. No, so it's a burger, but it's a bagel.
Wait, I don't understand. Can you run that by what?
It's a bagel. That's a burger too.
That I can't. I'm not.
It like 4 times.
I can't wrap my head around that.
She goes, "Let's get it. Let's go inside already."
Yeah, and that whole let's just go right into the date because that vibe was fucking shit. So,
dude, I was slumping in my couch. I was slumping as far as I could go and covering my eyes.
I could not look.
I just didn't want to watch it anymore.
Like
the greatest date in show history.
Yeah, because they're fucking eating, and he's
ironically
like, "Oh, how are you liking the food?" And she's just like not into this. Like,
no,
so clearly
she want nothing to do with this, any of it.
And I love how she kept dropping hints like, "Oh, maybe we should just like end the date here and drive back."
Yeah,
and he's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to go? And she's like 1 or like
goes,
0.
How much do you want to see it?
Yeah, how much do you want to see it?
And it's
3.
like,
it's like, what's the fucking difference?
Tokui and the crew were just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, and she's like,
what difference does it make if she says 3?
And then he's like, yeah, you talk a lot in the car. And that was after the two dudes, Taka and Shion, told him not to talk to her too much to distract her because she's new at driving. Because motherfucker don't have his own license. So, and he doesn't listen, right? And then he's like, oh, they start eating the burger bagel, and it gets really quiet.
Wait, what's that?
The bagel burger.
What is that?
It's a bagel. That's a burger. It's a bagel, but it's a burger too.
Okay.
Damn, I want bagel bites now.
I know, me too.
I don't.
So I actually just watched a video on bagels before this show. But anyways, so they're talking, or they're not talking, right? That's the thing. He's like, it's quiet, and he goes, yeah, when I eat, I usually just talk to my taste buds. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, this kid is so stupid.
Oh man! Oh my god!
Fucking cheers, guys.
Dude, I've had some not great dates, but nothing ever on the epic fail of this level.
I'm not Casanova or any shit like that, but come on, dude. You got, like, this shit is so bad.
Clueless. He's fucking clueless to the nth degree. Like,
and somehow they end up going to the thing.
Yeah, they
which
get
surprised
there,
me.
and he's still like, "Oh, do you want to like go
it's like
on the whatever.
It's like it's closed, and it's like some like in the trees kind of obstacle course. It looks like some athletic thing or whatever in like just this public park. It looks like, and he's like, "Yeah, I know you want to do something athletic," and she goes, "Did I say that?
I never said that."
And he goes, "Oh, maybe I misunderstood you."
And I remember like when he was planning the date, he talked to like either Taka or Shiona. Was like, I remember she said she wanted to do something athletic, so I have this plan, and they were like, did she say something like that? And he's like, yeah, for sure.
No.
Like, I remember being confused at it because I was like, wait, did I miss something? Did I miss a subtitle? Did she say that?
Yeah. I was thinking that too. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, did I miss something? Is Yudai really on top of his game? And then, basically, thanks for driving an hour to this thing you don't even want to do.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then they get back and then they're like, we should go get groceries.
Ooh.
Right. And then
rough.
Yudai, what does he say? Like Yudai decides not to go, but then he comes out.
It's like, can you
and
get
tells
asked for like he asked for something?
Yeah, he tells Shion. Yeah, he asks for some sort of juice. He tells Shion and Ami. He tells Ami to roll down the window, and he's like, "Hey, can you guys get like pineapple juice or whatever the hell he said?"
And they pouts and runs back in the house, and
then,
it's like
then
such a passive aggressive move. Like, you said we're gonna go to the grocery store alone. Now we're going with another guy.
Yeah, and then he tries to bullshit himself. Like he tries to like make up some stupid fucking story.
Well, they come
afterwards.
back home with they come back home with the groceries and they're cooking, and it's all awkward, and he's weird, and he's like acting all passive aggressive and shit, like a little bitch, because this dude is a straight little bitch.
Doesn't someone say while they're cooking, it feels like a funeral in here? Like
someone
literally
like
said that out loud.
I think Shion said that.
Yeah, I think so too. And then they go, and then they confront him like, "Why are you acting this way towards him? Or why didn't you go to the grocery store with him?" And he goes, "This is another one of his famous excuses, right? That have no bearing. In fact, he goes, "Oh well, I didn't want the vehicle only sits so many.
Yeah,
he's
only so many can fit in the car.
5 people,
Shion's like,
dude.
It fits 5, you motherfucker.
Yeah, and like you were going to be the third person in that vehicle, like of 5.
I will give him only the slightest amount of credit in that Japanese people don't drive as often as Americans. Like I feel like for Americans it's like no duh by the age of like 3. Like most cars have 5 seats, whereas in Japan you may not have as much experience with cars, but also you're fucking 19. Like dude,
holy shit.
And they have an SUV.
Yeah.
They have a 4-door SUV.
He's the kind of guy I feel like that thinks it's probably like a big deal to sit shotgun. He probably is still in that state of mind.
Oh my God, he probably is too. He's like, I'm not going if I don't get to sit shotgun.
Yeah, he probably feels like a big boy that way.
So dumb. And because of all that, Ami is like, he's erased from my world. He doesn't.
Yes, when she was meeting with her friends.
The next day when she's like debriefing her friends without the eye patch this time, her friends just by association to me just seem really sleazy. Or just really slimy. Something about them. I don't like that.
They're definitely the type of girls that would like talk behind other people's backs in high school or whatever. Yeah,
they totally will. They will not be straight up with you to your face, and then they'll just talk shit about you behind your back. It's really fucked.
Yeah, but yeah, she told them like I erased him from my world, and I remember one of her friends was like, "Oh, you do this kind of often. Who is this now? Like the 10th guy or whatever that's like this." Like they imply that like this is a very common occurrence. Yeah, which I'm just like, dude, you must be a bitch.
Yeah, seriously.
But I think it's justified this time in some ways.
Right? Yeah. But Yudai's not the best specimen of the human race.
Maybe she attracts lots of guys like that.
Exactly. And then we get the aftermath of that, where Taka and Yudai come up with this great fucking plan. More like Yudai. Yudai makes this plan.
Don't you put this shit on my dear snowboard.
No. Taka's like, nah, that's a terrible. No, Taka's like, this is a terrible idea. We should not do this. And then Yudai's like, fuck it. And he darts towards the TV room. He darts towards
wait. What are they? What's the plan? What is
the
plan?
Do you remember? So let me backtrack.
It was Mizuki and
Ami. They were sitting in the TV room, and Yudai's like, I should go talk to Ami because
this is after the date has gone awkward and they're not really talking with each other anymore.
Yeah, this is after the grocery and the cooking and all that. Yeah,
so they she's just kind of avoiding him, like full stop.
Right.
Okay.
And then Yudai's like, yeah, like I can set the record straight. I can go talk to you. And Taka's like, no, dude, it's a bad idea. Like, don't do it.
That's a terrible bad.
Give them their space.
Yeah, just give them their space. Let the shit just pan out. And the Yudai's like, nah, fuck it. So he bolts towards the fucking TV room, and Taka's like, fuck. And then so they both like get onto the futon, and Taka sits behind like Ami, like caddy cornered behind her, and Taka sits directly behind her, and Mizuki's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm
leaving.
They all book it out of there.
And I also love that they had a shot of that and they just let it sit there and linger for maybe just a little bit too long, which kind of really paints the picture of like that moment lasted way longer than it should have.
There was almost no eye contact too. And then it's just the two boys there, right? They scare the girls out of there, and then Yudai like does the chopstick cry.
Yeah.
Where if you're listening to this, you know what we're talking about, I guess already. But they're like, man, they're gonna think the Japanese people cry like that. Because I thought that. Listen,
that's what the host said. Yeah.
Listen, guys, I'm dead serious when I say this. I was like, that's a weird way to do that, and I was like, maybe it's a cultural thing.
Did you actually? Oh my!
Yes. No!
Wow.
I was like, maybe that's a cultural thing, and then they called it out. I'm like, okay, it's not good.
It's the hosts are like, oh my god, people are gonna think we'd cry that way.
I restored my faith. I was like, okay, this isn't a cultural thing. This is just him being weird. So he does the chopstick cry, and then he also says to Taka, sitting there, he goes, well, I think that I got my point across to her. I think I communicate my message.
Oh my god,
that I'm okay to communicate. And then Taka goes, well,
that
this
ended
is the
miserably.
result.
Yeah, that's what I love about Taka though. He isn't like straight up like, you're an idiot, that didn't work. He was just like, well, look at this mess. Look at what you've done. Just see the aftermath.
And then Taka walks out, and then Yudai just fucking balls. And then apparently he was fine after that.
Yeah,
like
makes sense.
He was just casually playing a game or whatever or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was playing like League of Legends or something like that on his phone, and he's concerned about that too. Yeah. He is fucking a piece of work.
League of Legends mobile is a thing, folks. You heard it here first.
Yo,
he's a fucking piece of work.
Yeah, dude, what a guy.
Do you guys remember when we talked about video games on this podcast?
Yeah.
So, man, Yudai is such a fucking
and here, okay, so I know this is jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll just bookend the whole Yudai talk now. So what happens is, Taka's like, he's a lost cause, but like I can't get Taka's the only one who's unwilling to give up on him. He's like, I'm gonna give him one last talk,
right?
So he goes and sits down in his bedroom, and he talks to Yudai. He's like, listen, man, like you haven't done anything in the kitchen. Like I'm not sure that you really even want to be a cook anymore. I mean, you sleep until like 2 PM and and blah 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 blah. And he's like trying to have a heart to heart with him. Next thing you know, like Yudai goes to meet with his ex.
Yeah,
we can talk about that, but yeah, Yudai meets with his ex, and she's like, she wasn't having none of it.
Well, can I point out? He meets with his ex on Christmas Eve, which is like akin to Valentine's Day in Japanese millennial culture.
It's a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling that his self-entitled, self-righteous ass thinks like she's gonna be really glad I called her, because he dumped her like to go to Terrace House.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. Like, okay, I remember when there was like in the early episodes, you know how they always say like last relationship 6 months ago, last relationship, whatever.
Right.
For him, it was like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, shit, son, that's a little weird. That's a little cutting it close. And then they reveal toward the end, like, yeah, I broke up with you so I could go to Terrace House.
Right, and he's not even like, hiding it. And so his love affair, quote unquote, here in Terrace House failed. So he's going back to the ex, right, tail tucked between his legs.
Can I also point out that he had been with that ex for, I think, 4 years.
All throughout high school.
4
that was like
years.
his high school sweetheart.
Him for 4 years.
And here's the kicker. Here is the money shot of the whole show. She rejects him.
Yeah,
she's like, no, you fucking loser.
No,
grow
fam.
the fuck up. Yeah, we're not getting back together.
No.
You need to get a license and grow the fuck up.
Speaking of that, like, did he also met with his mom at one point, right? And even his mom is like, dude, like, I can't help. No one can help you now.
Yeah, she's like, you've always been like
you're
this.
Far
and I'm
beyond.
like, and it's like, it's kind of her fault too. She has a share of the blame, I feel.
Yeah. It's just that both of those interactions with his mom and his ex, to me, were just like, he's never gonna change,
dude.
He's never had in the show. He's never had a positive reaction with anyone. Because think about like one of the last things on the show, that a conversation with his friends too. That's awkward too. All of it's awkward.
Yeah,
How does he have any friends?
Yeah. Remember, he was like, there's like a 90% chance my ex will want to get back with me after he had that meeting with her. And they're like, the guys are like, no, dude, not a fucking chance.
Everyone in the world knows that she doesn't want him except him. He's so fucking delusional.
He's oblivious, dude. And I'll never forget that meeting when he had with his ex, where he's like, you know, it's been hurting me to put my socks on lately. Like, I miss when you used to put my socks on for me. And she's like, I never did that. I never did that.
Dude, that was so cringy.
Yeah,
listen, guys. Listen. You know what I need? I need a refresher. Let's revisit Shion and the hockey player one more time, because they're having a great date.
Yes,
they're shooting hoops. They're flirting. They're having a good time.
Well, they have multiple dates. It's not just one
Yeah.
throughout these 8 episodes.
Oh yeah, it's like a little montage or something, right?
Well, I mean, they had one to like the foot springs or the foot springs or whatever. They had one where they played basketball, and like at that one, you know, Shion was like, "Oh, I definitely want to see that hockey game that you're gonna play in."
Right.
And
yeah,
we'll go pray before you go.
He's like, I'm gonna mark it on my calendar. Yeah, and they're gonna go to the temple to pray. Right.
And then we'll make a reservation after that to celebrate your win. And it's like, dude, you are too smooth. You're
a supportive ass motherfucker. Yeah.
It's going to be really bad, though, if, like, well, I mean, I don't think it's going to be one of those things, but if it was one of those things where, like, Tsubasa obviously isn't quite sure. Like, there's the scenes where Ami's kind of, like, edging her on, right? Mm-hmm. And Tsubasa's like, wait, is it really like that? Like, you know what I mean? She's not quite sure. But it would be really bad if it turned into one of those things where Tsubasa's like, wait, no, this isn't, like, the message I'm trying to send. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get that.
And then, that'd be really bad. But
take notes, guys, because that guy is on point, man. He's everything that Yudai thinks he is in his head.
Yo, can you woo me? Shion Okamata, if you're listening, can you please woo me?
Yeah, you wanted swooning, you got swooning. It's just from a different, place you thought it'd be.
It's like in fucking. I was just watching Your Name again for last night, but
nice.
You remember the part where the dude wakes up or the chick wakes up and she's like, "Wait, why do I have a date with a girl?" It's like the other way around with Jiyeon. It's wait, why do I have so many dates with guys? I was trying to get women to swoon over me.
Seriously, I mean, he's like I keep saying, he's smooth ass motherfucker. So they're kind of going strong, right? When we leave them at the end of the last episode. But one thing we don't really talk about too much is because she's kind of a non-factor is Mizuki, right? She doesn't have much of an arc.
So it's like, well, I was actually just thinking about this too. In like the first 3 or 4 episodes, you don't really see much of her. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The only major events I can think of are the drunken rant that we talked about earlier with her kind of talking to Yudai,
which was good.
Yeah, and then the whole saga with her Korean ex.
Yeah, which I called for that Buddha call.
Yeah, and did you guys know that he was Korean?
I think so.
Okay, so he is Korean.
Yeah, he's They were speaking Korean whenever they talked to each other, which kind of explains that moment where he's like, how do you is this how you say it in Japanese? Right,
right.
Yeah. Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because he's saying that in Korean, and
I was not to be too judgmental. I was just unimpressed with that guy.
Overall.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was all right, but
and Mizuki was in love with him after dating 2 weeks, and then he dumps her.
I just love the sexual promises were palpable. Like you could like put your finger up to the screen and it'd be just a little bit moist.
Oh,
just like Tokui was saying. Oh, it's so moist.
But dude, it was just like so clear that they were boning down.
I mean, he broke up with her for another girl, and then
then she just like falls right back into his arms.
Yeah,
like
it obviously
like
goes south with that girl. So he's in town and he wants to date her again, and he starts bragging about how big his hotel room is and all this stuff, and they're doing drinks and shots and stuff, and she ends up spending the night with him and then comes home late. But that's like the most interesting thing to happen to her, and it kind of made her stock go down for me. It made her seem like a kind of dumb lady, A, for falling in love with someone in 2 weeks, and B, for falling for the booty call too. It's like, wow, she really doesn't have anything going on.
Yeah, it's kind because to me now I'm kind of like, what's tying her to this house other than just the fact that she lives there?
I can see her. Yeah, I can see her being an early drop.
Yeah, because socially she doesn't really have any big ties. I can't think of anyone where she's like close friends with or anything in the house.
Right.
Oh shit, guys, we forgot to bookend the Yudai discussion.
Yes.
Instead of taking to heart Taka's advice, he's like, nah, fuck it. I'm leaving. Like, he said he's leaving.
And I love that they end episode 8 with it's just Taka and Shion eating dinner somewhere, and Taka's like, I'm gonna try one more time, just one more time, and if he doesn't get it, then that's Yudai's problem.
He's dead to my world.
Yeah, and I hate that they ended on that because now I'm just like I need the rest. I need an out, please.
And you guys talking about leaving, and it's like, guys, the only thing worse than those awkward teen years, which he should be over at this point, or at least getting over, but the only thing worse than going through that and like being the weird like ostracized person in a house full of strangers is to do it on worldwide television. Thank you. Like, wow. Yep. That guy is good, but he's going to be remembered, I think, for the panda incident, which has his own title. Like, he's going to be remembered. He's memorable, but in a negative connotation. His brand is crisis.
It's shot.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at all that he chose to take the easy way out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
he's like, nah, this isn't going how I like it. These guys don't have the same values as me, so I'm going to leave.
I don't like cooking with people that don't study cooking.
I don't like cooking. I don't like cleaning up after myself and them getting on me for it.
Guys.
Yeah. Do you think his grandma is like, that was a good decision I made. I signed him up for Terrace House.
Listen, I mean, she loves him no matter what, and I think that she's going to take his side in everything. So I think she's seeing his side on it.
Yeah, she just gave a platform to her grandson to make a complete ass of himself.
He's gonna like give her some bullshit excuse, and she's gonna believe him, and then she's gonna blame like the editors and everyone else in the house
for making him look bad on TV.
Mm-hmm. It's conspiracy, the deep state.
Deep state. Yeah, that's why he hasn't learned how to cook yet. It's the deep state preventing him. Deep state,
deep state.
Yep. God, man, I cannot wait for him to leave.
But the show is so entertaining as a result. And if he does leave, I'll admit I'll be a little sad to see him go.
I mean, he's probably leaving.
To replace him with.
Like, he's probably leaving next episode. Next episode, we're probably going to see whoever's replacing him.
That's what they're certainly alluding to. And how long is it going to be until we get the next batch?
Who knows? I know that in Japan right now they released episode 12, so that's 4 more weeks until they have 8 new episodes. But then who knows when they're going to release those 8 new episodes in worldwide Netflix.
I hate this. So they're living in the house right now?
Yes. I'm sorry this is boring you, but yes.
No, I'm just tired. No, I'm not bored at all. But they're living in the house as we speak, basically.
Yeah, right now. Well, yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. I don't know how much delay there is between like the actual filming and then like editing, post-processing, and like getting it up on the broadcast or whatever. Because I mean, it seems like it's early winter right now. There, like I'd say December, maybe January.
And how many episodes were there of the other seasons? Weren't there like a shitload, like 50 or
like
60? Or
30 to 40, usually 30 to 45 ish.
So there's going to be a bunch of chunks of this show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Let's consider like episode 7 or 8 where like Yudai has that date with his ex. That was in Christmas Eve, December 24th. So that's how far back episode 8 is. It's 3 almost April now. So yeah.
Okay.
Wow, guys. Good.
I was going to say I have one more big question. Do you guys think that there's a possibility for a Taka Ami thing though? Because it's because Taka's like, nah, I see her like a sister, but like any time they have interaction, he's like, sa kawaii in that, like he's so cute. Like
he wants to like her, but I don't think that she's very likable.
Right,
but
he's like very iffy on it.
He wants to be interested. Like he called her eye candy, right? Which is pretty callous. Yeah, but
I think he has a carnal attraction to her. Like, damn, she's hot. Like, I'd love to bone down. But I don't think he has like an emotional like.
Yeah, I don't think there's a connection there.
Yeah. I think he's interested in her just because she's cute, not because of her not great personality.
Yeah, they don't have good chemistry at all, and I don't think they make a good couple at all. So I hope they don't get together.
No, I mean, I'm not like crossing my fingers for it or anything like that. I'm just saying based on the interactions that they had.
Right.
I'd say no.
Right. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Honestly, there's a part of me that wants Ami to leave because she's not great. Yeah. Like, I mean, like she kind of got the short straw by like having to deal with Yudai for the majority of this part. But even then, like her existence on the show is kind of like, meh.
Yeah, her story is basically learning to drive to take Yudai on a date.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's her story arc, and then finally maybe trying to get into her modeling. But
yeah, she's basically been a lightning rod for the actions of Yudai.
She needs to go too. I think she's pretty boring. I think there's 3 great characters and 3 incredibly kind of just bad characters. Yudai, here's the thing. Yudai's a great character and he makes the show better, but at the same time, like I hate the guy. You know,
Yeah.
I love to hate the guy.
Yeah, he's the entertainment.
Wow, he's a comic relief. He's all of it rolled into one.
Man,
I mean, it would be even better if he started heeding Taka's words, but I don't think he's going to.
You
I don't
think maybe he'll watch the
he's
show?
lost.
You think maybe he'll watch the show and like be embarrassed, or you think it'll be like 15, 20 years down the road, maybe?
I think in like 5 to 10 years he'll look back and be like, Jesus, like good Lord, man.
Why did I
hope
do
so.
that?
Right.
Why did I listen to my grandma and go on the show that I didn't even apply for? Oh man, but I think this is one of the best seasons of Terrace House. I am so looking forward to the next one. I'm so sad though. I really am that the beginning song changed, but the ending song is pretty good. So it almost makes up for it.
Like, to me, this is almost as good as like every moment Taichi was on the show. Because to me, Taichi was like a really good catalyst. He was like that douchebag that you hate to like, or like to hate, both really.
Yeah.
Whereas Yudai here, it's just, you just hate him, and it's so good to hate him.
Taichi, though, I admire in certain respects. Like, he sets a goal and he does everything he needs to do to make that goal. So I admire that
Same
aspect, you know.
Whereas Yudai is like, I want to be a cook, but I don't cook.
Yeah, Yudai is just ping-ponging his way through life right now. Like, he's just fucking, what a loser.
It's all right, though. He's got daddy's credit card.
What's he going to do if he leaves Terrace House? He's going to go live with his grandma? Seriously, what's he going to do?
I don't know.
He's washing dishes right now. He's spending dad's credit card. What the?
Yeah,
he's not allowed to go home.
Well, here's the thing, though, too, is like, okay, so he leaves Terrace House. He's going to have to quit at the restaurant, too. So it's like...
Yeah,
he's like trying to start a career there where he can finally get on the line and make pasta, and he's gonna leave just being a fucking dishwasher.
Well, I mean, I don't know how true it was when he said this, but remember in the beginning he said like in Tokyo he had like a restaurant job, so like maybe he can go back to that.
He said he had like 3
real.
jobs, and then he was trying to go to school on top of that. That had to have been bullshit.
Yeah,
his
I
ex
just
won't
don't
put
see
on
him.
his socks anymore.
I don't. Do you think his boss put on his socks for him?
Hey, can you tie my apron for me, please, boss?
While you're at it, can you make this pasta for me?
Oh man,
I mean, I know you asked me to, but it really helped me out.
God, he's
I'm
like a
almost
real life
convinced
Tom Sawyer, but worse.
I'm convinced that the only reason he got that job is because of the exposure that it would give to the restaurant. They recognize he's on the show. There's no way they could do it like based on his own merits. He has no merits.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just okay. We need to stop, because if we keep going, I'm just gonna keep hating this asshat.
Yes.
So I think closing words. What are your hopes and dreams for episode 9?
Absolutely, I want Shion and Tsubasa to get together. I want Taka. I want Ami to leave. I want Taka to fall in love with. And I want Mizuki to leave too. I'm done with her. I know she's going to be on for a little bit while longer because you can tell in the credits, right? Yeah. But I want those 2 girls to leave, and I want Taka to fall in love with someone else that shows up, like a good person. And then and we'll go from there. Those are my wants and needs right now.
I mean, I think Jack pretty much nailed it. Yeah, Tsubasa, Shion, they need to be a ship. Yeah, Taka. It would be really cool if like he could find someone there. I think Yudai's more than likely going to leave. I think he's definitely. I have a feeling he's going to be the I'm giving up type. Like I'm leaving unless Taka comes in and just like fucking saves the day. But he's already tried so much. I don't think there's left.
If anyone can do it, it's him. But I think that dude's too far gone.
Yeah, nothing's getting through that thick ass skull he has. And Mizuki, I could see her kind of leaving. She's giving me like some Sherry vibes. Not nearly as bad. But like not nearly as crazy,
just because the drunken tirade.
Yeah, well, it's more so, and then she like hooked up with her ex and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like it's not like, but I don't think Mizuki's crazy though. She's definitely not crazy. She's definitely rooted in reality and she knows how to work.
Right. I would react similar if I had to live with fucking Yudai's bullshit too. So
right, that's what I'm saying.
I don't blame her.
I don't even think I would have to be drunk to pull that shit.
No.
Yeah.
And what am I forgetting? Am I forgetting something? Ami, and I don't know. Ami, I think just see where it goes. I don't know.
Is she dead to your world?
I just haven't seen anything from her yet. Like I want to see a little bit more progression on her end, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Like I hope that she kind of throws herself more into her work after all this. right? And like we actually see her make some progress as a model, because and also being on Terrace House is definitely got to be getting her some kind of brownie points in the industry, right?
Like you would hope,
yeah. So that's what I hope for her. Mizuki, she gets brownie points for me only because like she knows Korean, which is like, hey, that's cool. And you lived in Seoul, I know what that's like. But other than that, I agree that she's not going to be on the show for much longer. There's just nothing there for her, I think. And it's not like there's going to be much progress in any other part of her life that's like interesting to Terrace House viewers, I think.
I mean, the fact that she just works on her computer, you know what I mean? It's not like she's going out and doing much.
Yeah, and Yudai is leaving next episode. I feel it. There's nothing that'll keep him there. He's definitely
And I hope they have a new character in that next episode back too. Like right away. Like they don't waste any time.
If not, I hope they end the episode at least with that thing they do where they show everything but the person's face while they talk to like their friends or family, like, hey, you know that show Terrace House? I got accepted.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Say what you want, but like in a world full of reality shows, like Terrace House somehow managed to carve its own niche, its own kind of reality, take on reality, its own kind of brand. And so that kind of slow reveal, right, of the face is like one of those staples of the show. It's interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I want to see that for whoever's going to be replacing Yudai, and whoever's probably going to be replacing Mizuki pretty soon.
Yeah, it's different from any other reality show, and I don't know if it's because it's rooted in Japanese culture and all that stuff, but it's just not as loud and obnoxious. There's not any clearly scripted drama. Like, okay, there may or may not, you never know what goes on behind the scenes, but it's never so over the top that it's unbelievable.
It's got its own, it's got its own vibe, man. I'm looking forward to it. And talking about it with you guys now, I'm absolutely going to go back and watch Ami and Yudai's date right now.
Oh my God,
the date.
I would have to take a couple shots.
You just need a little bit of cringe right before you go to bed, Jack. Is that what you're saying?
I'm totally gonna watch it. It's just such an awesome train wreck. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna totally watch it.
All right, so I think we should probably wrap up. We've been talking about Terrace House for like an hour and a half almost now. So thank you for listening to the Video Gamey Tiny Disc podcast, where we talked about all the video games today. Am I right, guys?
Yeah,
all of them. Every single one.
Every single video game.
I'm waiting on the Terrace House video game.
Yeah. Oh man, don't get me started. Telltale needs to come out with that now.
You play as Yudai and you try to make all the good decisions, but your controller's broken and you only make the bad ones.
I would fucking play that game right now if Telltale made that. Oh my god.
Terrace House, a Telltale game, a Telltale series.
Dude, you would. You don't even lie.
I'd play that 100%.
Totally would.
Oh man. All right. So I know this episode was different from what we usually do, but Terrace House is kind of like something we all really like, and we just wanted to talk about it on air. So hope you enjoyed this episode, and kind of, maybe if you listen to this and you haven't seen Terrace House and you just kind of kept it on in the background and you're just tuning in now, dude, go watch Terrace House. It's super good. Super freaking great. We spoiled
it, but it's still worth watching. Totally.
We didn't really spoil the other seasons, so watch them. They're super good.
Guilty Samurai.
Yeah. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, anything you want us to read live on this pre-recorded show, you can email them to us at tinydiscpodcast@gmail.com. If you want, you can follow all of our social media channels for any updates, and you can find all those media channels on tinydisc.com, where you can also find all of our previous episodes that are all about video games and some movies. That about does it for us, though, for this special episode 40 of the Tiny Disc Podcast. Where can we find you guys online?
Colin and Milo, a.k.a. booboo__55 on Twitter.
I admire that you're committing to the AKA. I hardly ever hear that anymore, but hear you say AKA makes me laugh or smile. At Jack Cepeda, JACCEPEDA, Mr. Cepeda, if you're nasty.
And you could find me at Panoptimist, PINOPTIMIST. If you enjoyed this, please leave an iTunes review. That'd really help us out. If not, tell a friend. Fly to a Japanese city known as Karuizawa and keep wandering the woods until you find a really nice, kind of out-of-place house that 6 people are living in, and just kind of walk in. And if you can get on camera, that'd be even better. And just
are you describing like a home invasion horror movie right now? Like, what
I am not endorsing a home invasion. Knock on the door, be very polite, and tell them, listen to the Tiny Disc Podcast in Japanese, probably. So learn Japanese first.
You know, I always wondered that. Is that like ever a concern? Like, you know, people on the internet could find that fucking house. It's the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll
totally could
pinpoint it down to the address. They'll figure it out somehow. There's got to be some sort of security measure that they take.
So go ahead and listen to Robert and just commit The Strangers from 2008.
That's a great movie. They made a sequel to that.
Never seen it.
Look, I cannot be held liable for any of this. So thank you so much for listening to the Tiny Disc Podcast, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Konnichiwa.
So, Robert, when you reach your peak, are you going to change your username to Pin Optimal?
Nope.
Nope. Then it has to be Prime at the end. Pin Optimal Prime.
Pin Optimal Prime.